Hi, it's Jenny with Jenny's Wreath Boutique, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to make 3 different beautiful golden wreaths. These are going to be gilded Christmas wreaths that are very high end, but also really easy to make. So that's great. You get a beautiful looking wreath, even if you're a beginner. So I love wreaths like this. The first couple wreaths are only going to take about 10 minutes each, so they're really fast, really easy, but they make a big impact. And then the third wreath is a little more intricate, but also very easy to make, but it's going to make a huge impact. Going to be gorgeous. I can't wait to show you. All 3 of these wreaths are actually going to be using a 14-inch grapevine wreath base. So really, really simple. I like to get these from the Michaels Pro Packs. And then I'm also going to be using my favorite hot glue gun and hot glue and my favorite wire cutters. I have all my favorite tools linked in the description below. The first wreath we're going to make is a golden bay wreath, and these are bay leaves, but they look like laurel leaves, so you can call this a laurel wreath also. But I love this one because they're shiny, but they're not glittery. There's going to be a lot of glitter later on. I like these particular ones because they're just extremely good quality and they're not glittery. I have these available in my shop until they are sold out, but you can also get similar ones that have glitter from Michaels, and I will try and link them in the description, but I will also link these. So I have 9 of these here. I don't know if we're going to need that much, or it might be the perfect amount, but I'm telling you, this wreath is so easy to make, very fast. All we're going to do, cut the stem a little. We're going to bend this slightly just so it goes around the curve of the wreath. We're going to glue our stem, place it along the grain of the grapevine at an angle. We're going to have it slightly outward, and if you need to add more glue to make good contact, you can. We're not even going to have to cut the rest of the stem, just this bottom part. And you don't even have to cut this, but I like to because I like the back to look really clean so it doesn't stick out the back. That's why this wreath comes together so fast. This wreath is also going to be about 28 inches, so it's a really big wreath on a 14-inch grapevine. If you want to make a smaller one, you can do this with a smaller grapevine, and you can cut these into pieces as well. So I'm slightly bending it, placing it along the grain of the grapevine, overlapping the previous one, but also angled. And then I'm just going to do this, overlapping the previous one until we're done. Oh my goodness, how gorgeous is this? Oh, I love it. It's huge. This is what the back looks like. See how it's nice and clean, and it's nice and thin, but so fluffy at the same time. Oh my gosh, I love this. And this took me 5 minutes to make. Very, very fast, but look, if you were going to buy this, this would be very expensive. But look how beautiful it is. And you made it yourself. I'm going to show you a nice video of this, and then I'm going to show you the next wreath. Once again, 14-inch grapevine. This one's a little wonky, but we will make it work. And for this wreath, I'm going to be using a golden magnolia garland. If you don't want to use the magnolia garland, you could also use these magnolia leaves from Hobby Lobby. These are in their pick section. So these are great. This will make definitely a flatter magnolia wreath. This one's going to be a little more fluffy. And some people like to just tie the garland to the grapevine. I never do that. I like to have more control, and I think it makes a better wreath when you cut the garland apart. So I'm just going to cut individual sections right underneath here, so we have as long of a stem as possible. These are so soft. All right. Now that I've cut that up, I've already cleaned up my grapevine. And by cleaning up my grapevine, all I mean is I cut off all the crazy twigs that could possibly scratch your door. I've cleaned out any leaves. Some grapevines have a lot of leaves. This one did. And if you need to tighten it or anything, you can use bind wire to do that. I didn't need to do that with this. So for this, each of these little stems that I've cut off are a nice golden magnolia leaf little bunch. So I'm going to stick the stems along the grain of the grapevine. Along the grain, that is very important. And then if you want to bend them forward a little bit, you can. So I'm going to be mixing up a little bit of inside and outside, so we have nice coverage. And then we're just going to go all the way around the wreath like this. Using a garland is a great way to make a nice full wreath that really works well, whether that's a mixed greenery garland or a single greenery like this one. I had to grab just a few more pieces off my next garland because my grapevine is a little bit bigger than 14 inches. It's more like a 15-inch grapevine. But most 14-inch grapevines will be perfect with one garland. All right, here it is. This is our golden magnolia wreath. Look at the back, nice and clean once again. And this came together so fast. This one took me 10 minutes. Here's a close-up video of everything, and then we'll get into the next wreath. This next wreath uses a little bit of everything, all the gold, different kinds of gold, sparkly, not sparkly, and it's going to make a absolutely gorgeous stunner of a wreath. So for this wreath, I have a ton of stuff. If you just go to the pick aisle at Hobby Lobby, there's a whole bunch of different golds you can choose from. You can mix gold and silver. And if you go to Michael's, there's a whole section of white and gold and silver, and it looks so beautiful together. I just want you to go grab a different mix of those, a broadleaf, some kind of ball, some kind of smaller feathery fern type. I will grab 4 or 5 different kinds that all go together, and I'm going to show you what I have. I'm also going to use some that I just bought. These are from one of my wholesalers, so I will offer these in my shop if you want them. But once again, you can get all of this from Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I love this fern. It's very gold. It has a little bit of glitter, but not too much. And then these are from Hobby Lobby. I love them. They're like a little laurel leaf. Then we've got some different berries. I love these. These are great. Just another little texture. And then I've got some of these silvery berries, and I have one that's more gold. This is great if you have a bunch of leftover gold stuff too from other projects. For example, these are pieces of the laurel or bay that I have from Michael's. This is already chopped up, so I'm going to add those in there as well. We've got a nice broadleaf with our magnolia leaves from Hobby Lobby. And then here's another fern that's more of a champagne or a lighter goldish silver. It's very, very light colored. Love it, and it's glittery. This is a glittery one. Got a handful of those. These crab apples with a little bit of flocking iced balls. They're so pretty. I just love them. They're so elegant. Just for another fun texture. This is so great for Christmas and to New Year. I just love this so much. For some more gold, I'm bringing back my bay leaves from our first wreath. I like that I'm bringing in the more bold yellowy gold with a more subtle softer gold. I think they look so pretty together. So that's what we're using. I know it's a lot, but we're just going to add them in one layer at a time. Like I said, I will have these two in my shop if you want to grab them, but you can find all of these other things at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. Just choose what you like and what you have available to you. The first thing I'm going to add are magnolia leaves because it's a nice broad leaf and it's going to go really well as a base. So I'm just going to grab a few of these. When you're doing a monochromatic look that you want to be extra spectacular, the key to getting lots of interest is different shines, sparkles, sizes, textures, and I think we have all of that and then some. We're not going to use everything I showed. I just like to have options. So for these, I'm cutting them in half. That way we have a nice solid stem to work with. Gluing them along the grain of the grapevine as always. And then we'll just pull the leaves apart. You can always add more later. This is just how we're starting. One layer at a time, and it really helps everything be even from the get-go, even if it looks really sparse at the beginning. Now that we have that, I'm going to add in this because it's a nice broad leaf. And this time I am going to cut it because we don't need these in big chunks like this. We're going to get quite a few pieces just from one stem. You can separate them even more if you like. And since these pieces stick out pretty far, you want to make sure they stick out evenly along the wreath. Yeah. So I'm going to place this last one over here. Okay, now that we have those, I'm going to add in our random assortment of these. If you don't have these bay leaves, you can use these from Michael's. I'm not going to add them in because this is all I have, and I want to be able to duplicate this if I sell more than one. Now we're going to add in the ones from Hobby Lobby, just a few picks. I'm going to keep them together to make this go faster. If you want to make a smaller wreath, different size, you can also separate these. It will just make it take longer. I'm just going to place about 5 around the wreath. You could also cut them in half. That way you only have to get 3 of these. That would definitely cut your costs down. This is looking so pretty already. I love it. All right, so this is what we have so far. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. I love it. Now, because I want to make sure there's more of this gold in there, I'm going to add in a few of my ferns. You can keep them together or cut them in half. Depending on how big you want your wreath to be, that can help you make your decision. I don't like it big, so I'm going to leave these together and do 5. So I'm going to put them in between the picks I just placed. And I love this texture. It's so pretty. Look at that. This is just beautiful. Look how it fills in everything so nicely. All right, look at it with the ferns in it. Oh my gosh, you could leave it like this. It'd be gorgeous. Okay, now we're gonna add in our sparkly ferns that are a lighter color. I am gonna cut these in half. Actually, each one of these can be separated into 3. So I'm probably just gonna use 2 stems, and these are $3. So half off, 150. So since we're using 2, that's only $3. These picks go a long way, but they're really good quality. They're very glittery, but I love them because they look really nice. I might be able to use more because this can go back here as well. Because these are so inexpensive, I might use more. I might do 3 picks of them. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at all the different texture so far. We haven't even added our berries yet. Okay, add that. Absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Now we're going to start adding all of our textures. We're going to start with these crab apples, the gold ones. I just want this wreath to be so over the top. So each of these picks can be separated into 3. So I'll probably just use 2 picks. I love the interest this provides. So pretty. I actually have a wreath inside my VIP group that we did last year, and it's so pretty. It's a beautiful mix of golds, and it's on a gold hoop, and it has a bow, and it's beautiful. So if you really like all of these gold on gold on gold, and you're in the VIP group, you would love that. If you're not a member, you can learn more about it. I have a link in the description of all of my videos, and you can learn more. And if the group is not open, which it won't be right now, I only open it to the public twice a year, but you can get on the wait list. So if you're interested in gold, that is a great tutorial. Okay, now, all right, here's some other gold berries. I'm just gonna do 3. 5 would also be a good number to use. I'm just doing 3 of these. Just because it's another fun texture. Like this wreath could be complete now, but I just love making it over the top. Okay, I really like these. I'm gonna add these gold balls because they're just too good. I love them. They're so fun. I am gonna separate them. And I'm gonna add these inside and outside. They're just so fun. And I think they just really bring everything together. And they bring such a unique texture. And you want to make sure these are inside and outside. And while this wreath looks spectacular, I think it's really not difficult to make a wreath like this. It looks like it would be difficult, but all you do is add in 1 layer at a time. And it's really easy to make sure that it looks good together because it's monochromatic. So while it looks like it could be a difficult wreath to make, it's really, really simple and stunning. All right. Oh my gosh, look how fun this is. All right, let me know which one of these was your favorite. This one or magnolia, or the bay. They're all so different, but all very much the same. Oh my goodness. I would love to know which one of these is your favorite. I hope you make one. Don't forget, I have links for the things in my shop and anything you can get from Michael's in the description. And if you want a cheat sheet of where I get all of my wreath making supplies, both retail and wholesale, my favorite places, I have that linked in the description as well. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to let me know which one of these is your favorite and if you're going to make one. All right. Bye.